coming to you raw and unscripted. Beaming across Ontario and beyond to places like North Bay, Bayfield, 1,000 Islands, and Distillery District. This is the Real Hickson Real Estate Podcast. Whether you're listening on your commute or putting on your suit, whether it's your morning stroll or you're on patrol, you just finished prayer or dropped the kids at daycare, you're in the bar, your car, or listening with the bathroom door ajar, near or far, this is the Jess and Giro Show. We're grateful for flattery and prone to inaccuracies. This is your guide to Toronto culture, people, events, news, but most importantly, real estate talk. Yes, hello. We are back again for another weekly podcast.
Weekly is a stretch.
I was just going to say, it's been, okay, we actually are aiming to do one every 2 weeks. I think one every 2 weeks is good.
Yeah.
So the bi-weekly podcast.
Yeah, bi-weekly, yeah.
The
life goes by fast.
It does. Things are still happening, like we're still busy. You know, everyone's trying to wrap things up before the end of the year. So that's where we're at. But we're back here this week. And what are we going to talk about today, Jess?
Lots to talk about today.
But what in particular? Let them know.
Lifestyle.
We're going to first tackle the market conditions of this week, the last couple of weeks, where we're at right now with different things. But yes, lifestyle. It's looking inward at yourself, where you're at, and questioning things.
And where you want to be.
That's right. So let's first start with the market conditions right now. What are we seeing around the GTA and beyond?
Still low inventory, still lots of buyers.
Yes. Now this is specifically for detached homes, semis, and townhomes, correct?
Yes. Still lowest inventory.
Yeah.
Of late.
I know Ontario is working on more housing and all that kind of stuff, urban infill and all these projects, but it's still tough.
Yeah.
Still tough market.
Lots of competition, multiple offers.
Do you think kind of, there was a big rush last year of people moving around and all that kind of stuff, and people are still trying to do that now, but there's just less people wanting to move.
Yeah, there's definitely less homes available to purchase.
Less listings.
Yeah.
And more people just trying to get, maybe it's an upward movement or a downsize.
Yeah, and if you weren't able to do it last year when it was crazy, or in the spring when it was crazy, then you pushed it to the fall, and now there's not much left to buy. Yeah,
that's true. But that is not exactly true for the condo market.
No, there's still inventory.
We've been hunting downtown and around different areas in the GTA. I can't stress this enough. Now is the time to buy a condo. I said it last time. You really want to get something, if you are thinking about it, before Christmas. Of course, I think, in my opinion, sellers are trying to list their place before Christmas. They're trying to get it wrapped up. And of course, buyers want to kind of buy before Christmas as well, or before the end of year, we should say.
Yeah, end of year.
Now, I think that what we've seen is the good units are moving quick. There
well
is,
priced.
yeah, it's like it's a mixed market for some are going to offer presentation nights, and some are selling over list. We have seen a lot of offer presentation nights for condos nothing happens on the night, and they do get relisted for the price close to what they want. So that's what's happening. We're seeing
they are selling like pretty quickly after that.
Yeah, they are still selling. Some, like a few of them, are sitting for like maybe a couple of weeks. But yeah, you will see people just trying to, if they're desperate, or if any kind of duress like that, they're probably going to want to sell them before the end of year. Otherwise, we'll see some listings, I think, suspend till the next year.
Yeah, and I think the spring market's going to start early.
So yeah, last year the spring market started like January.
Yeah, I can see it happening again.
The best time to buy a condo in the last few years was last year, December, and that's what I'm trying to guess, is that's what's going to happen this year. And I think what's going to happen is January is going to start up again.
Yeah, it usually does.
I did see a report that the first 8 months of last year and this year were a lot of transactions were done by buyers with multiple properties. So what does that tell you, Jess?
You gotta have money to make more money.
You gotta have money to make more money. It's almost like January 1st hits.
Yeah.
And they're gonna the books are open, the budget's there for the year.
Yeah, and that's when the movement starts happening.
Yeah. So I think that's what we're probably gonna see again. Traditionally, the spring market starts when? March.
February.
Traditionally.
February, March. Yeah.
So we will see that trend probably happen again. So yes, again, if you guys are interested in buying, if you have any questions at all, please reach out, hicksonrealestateteam@gmail.com. Okay, so let's talk about lifestyle, Jessica. Let's talk, by the way, what did we start this week or last week?
It's been a few weeks now.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We are TikTokers.
We are TikTok. Are we officially TikTokers?
Yeah, we're not influencers, but we are TikTokers.
Not influencers, but we're helpers. Like, I feel like the point of the whole TikTok thing is not to like just show you homes and inside of homes and all that kind of stuff, which is fantastic. And yes, everyone wants to know what a $20 million home looks like. Other than that, like showing an inside of a home, you're really only going to care if you're specifically looking for something in that specific area and you're waiting for something to come on the market.
Yeah,
right?
Unless it's like above and beyond, something really exciting to see.
Yeah. I don't want to downplay the importance of those kinds of videos, but that's not what we're on TikTok for. Of course, we are at Hickson Real Estate on TikTok. We are here, just like what we're doing with the podcast here. We're trying to teach concepts.
Yeah, and we're just chatting.
We're just chatting. That's literally it. But you get to see our faces. My average and Jess's beautiful face.
Yeah, put a face to the name, a face to the voice.
A face to the voice. Yep. Yeah, let's go with the second answer.
Okay. Yeah, but we're working on it.
But most importantly, Jess, we're having fun, aren't we?
We are. It's taking some time
but
to get comfortable in front of the camera.
Look, we understand the biggest demographic right now in real estate is the millennials.
Yes.
And they're all not. By the way, your mum's on TikTok. She's watching videos. She might not be doing them.
Yeah.
But she's on it.
Everyone is on TikTok.
Everyone's on TikTok now.
Yeah.
You know, it is skewed to the younger generations, but everyone's on it now. So that's just yet another medium that we're tackling.
The millennials are there. The no bones day / bones
the no bones.
day.
If you guys haven't seen that, you need to get on the no bones. It's a what do you call him? He's like
our like
he's like the groundhog.
The groundhog.
Yeah, he's like the Groundhog Day, but he's like a pug.
Every day.
Fantastic. Okay. We digress. So what are we talking about when we say lifestyle? What does it look like to you, whoever's listening there at home? What does it look like when you wake up through the week? And what does it look like when you wake up on your days off, whenever your days off may be? What do you do? Are you happy in your home? When you leave your home, is everything working for you?
Yeah. What does your morning look like? What's your routine like? Is it affecting where you live?
Yep. So we'll go through a few of these kind of ideas, but basically the point of all of this is to find out for yourself if you are happy in where you live. Maybe you're stoked with everything that's going on and you're all happy about that. Maybe you've been thinking about moving for a little while, or maybe you're like ready to jump. You're like, I need to get out of here for whatever reason. I guess, Jess, you have to decide what's the most important thing for you. What's your priorities?
Yeah, because you're not going to get it all.
You're not going to get it all. Yeah.
It's not going to be perfect. Even if you have the biggest budget, there's always going to be something you sacrifice.
Yeah. Yep.
Location, view, size.
Don't we see $1 million mansions getting sold every week?
Yeah.
So not everyone's happy.
No, exactly. Like you could say to why is this $5 million beautiful house on the market? It means the seller needs to move out of it for whatever reason.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different factors that go into it that we'll chat about. But it's basically like, the grass will always be greener. There'll always be another home that maybe's better for you, but
Yeah.
I guess you just have to decide what's the color of the shade of green that you like, right?
What's the most important thing?
It's kind of like picking a wife,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. The grass is lots of times
It's
greener.
it's like getting the brand new 2022 Land Rover, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's the most fantastic car in that range and category for today, or maybe it's a Porsche or whatever it is. And guess what? Next year, it's not the best model anymore.
It's like your iPhone.
Exactly.
We're always behind somehow.
So what are the factors that go into, what are the things that these listeners can think about when they're like looking at their four walls?
Yeah.
So, and I think this changes with age as well.
Definitely.
That's one of the biggest factors is, when you're young, you're happy to be around friends. You're obviously wanting to get the hell away from your family in a lot of cases, right?
Okay, well.
No, I mean...
Speaking from the Australian who moved
that's
to
true.
Toronto.
That's true.
Okay.
No. It's not that I wanted to get away from this. It's just what ended up happening, right?
Okay.
It's just incidentals. But, kids wanting to, like teenagers, college...
Expand their horizons.
They want to get away from their parents.
Yeah, they want to try something different. If you grow up in the suburbs like me, then you think city life is going to be better.
Right.
And then eventually you realize maybe the suburbs are not so bad.
Right, and what ends up happening, Jess, when you're thinking about babies and stuff like that?
Yeah, you want the space.
You're thinking about babysitters and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe it's a good idea to move back close to your parents after all, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. I think the biggest factor, affordability, right?
Yeah, of course.
You can only live within your means. I think, unfortunately, there's some people out there that live beyond their means.
Yeah.
But, living within your means.
Buying within your means.
Buying within your means. And, you're obviously, a lot of people are working towards something.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are on different steps on the pathway to what they think is going to be their dream home.
Yeah. And maybe location is important to you, so you don't buy the best house, but it's the best neighborhood for you.
Or maybe you are a champion, you are a hustler, and you're just roughing it in a crappy place just based on the price so that you can save money for the future to make a move. Mm-hmm. So, affordability, age, Jess, do you think you're going to get everything that you want?
No. As I said, I think there's always going to be something that's missing.
There's always going to be something that's missing.
Like, you could build your own custom home for sure, and everything is perfect, and then somehow your neighbor is a jerk. Like, what are you going to do? Like, there's always something.
Or even if you've found the perfect place and you love everything, you love the neighbors, you love the this, that, and, maybe someone in the family's sick, maybe it's overseas or in a different province or something like that, and unfortunately, you have to make that decision.
Yeah.
I think if we're thinking inside the home, layout. For me, like at least in condos, obviously it extends to houses and everything else, but condos, because you're not dealing with a lot of space, like layout is absolutely key.
Yeah, small spaces layout is the number one factor.
And
functionality.
Right. And I always do see an interesting correlation with brand new buildings that are smaller and have a slightly worse layout. Not in all cases, but in a lot of them. Versus like an older condo that maybe doesn't have as nice finishes. Maybe the building's a little bit older, but you do end up getting more of that space.
Yeah. Things were built differently 20 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. And now they're just trying to cram them in.
Yeah.
We're seeing, 400 square foot units now being built?
Less,
360, 370. Mm-hmm. Which, if we look at, just quickly, if we look at other countries in the world, like in Japan, and other parts of Asia like that have high populations, you are seeing really like micro condos.
Yeah, but if they're functional, they're functional. Like that.
I mean, that's the thing. And, maybe a shoebox in the sky is not everyone's cup of tea, but someone's going to want that. They're thinking, you know what? Maybe it's a student or something like that. And they're thinking, you know what, it's right next to the uni, or uni's just down there. My favorite restaurant's there. My favorite bar's there.
Yeah, but that's when you talk about age and lifestyle.
Exactly.
Because at 20, your priorities are very different than at 35.
Exactly.
So that's why there's so many different options for residential investment.
That's right. And I mean, Jess, you and I, we used to rent down in Young and Eglinton.
Yeah.
And we had all our fantastic bars and little things.
Oh, yeah. We had our local. We went out on Saturday night.
That was fantastic. And then what happened was we started, like obviously what happened in the pandemic as well was part of it, that everyone just stopped and started to look at the walls around them.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were distracted before by work and by this and by that. And then the pandemic forced people to stop and just kind of look at themselves in the mirror.
Look at themselves and look at the four walls they live in.
And then start to make bread and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are huge factors, like where you are. For example, you're not going to purchase a 3-story townhouse in your mid-60s the same way someone in their late 20s would be saying, like, well, this is a perfect starter home for me. But someone in their 60s is looking in a different way.
Yeah.
Their eyes don't see the same benefit.
Exactly. I mean, exactly. Like, for me, we're living in a townhome and we don't have to do the maintenance of outside. Now, eventually, sure, I'm probably going to want a backyard. But for right now, I'm perfectly happy not doing the snow removal and not doing the lawn care, all that kind of stuff. I mean, we do pay a small pottle fee for that. I'm perfectly happy
to pay
to pay that and not have to do it myself. I mean, it's all based on preference and in your lifestyle, really.
Yeah.
And it's all give and take.
It's all relative.
It's all relative, exactly. Then there's like function of the home as well. Okay, so you could be a drummer, for example, or maybe you want a drum and you're like, you know what? There's just no way I'm gonna in this small condo. I'm gonna do that. The landlord's gonna kick me out.
The noise complaints would be constant.
Noise complaints would be through the roof. So, literally through the roof. Do you like that?
Hilarious.
But maybe you're like, you know what? I need a basement. Or if you have a dog, soundproof room. Or if you have, like pets, you need a backyard. Other things. Maybe it's the style of home. Like just we were touching on before. Maybe you're happy with the minimalist, the clean lines and all that kind of stuff. Another person might want like arches and decorative doorknobs and kind of that old world character. So they're going to tend towards like an older home. Me personally, I don't want an old home because I don't want the headaches.
Yeah.
And there's always a chance of getting renovations from past, owners that weren't done the best or done over the top of other and blah, 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 right? It gets messy.
But there's like some beautiful old houses in this city.
Exactly. I will say, like, we've been in plenty of beautiful homes. And not only that, they have been renovated very, very nicely.
Yeah. So
done correctly.
Some people want the old outside and then brand new inside.
Yeah. Some people want like a front porch, for example. Just something as simple as a front porch to sit there and watch the people go by.
Yeah.
Or like, another funny thing is like walking versus driving. Me personally, I like to do a little bit of walking for just like maybe the essentials. But like, for the most part, we're going to drive somewhere to get something.
Yeah. That's the decision you make to live in the suburbs.
And, okay, if you were buying a condo downtown, that's a big price difference for budget.
Oh, of course.
Is with parking or without parking.
Yeah, huge.
Now, I'm always going to encourage to get a condo with parking if you can get it. Not so much necessarily 2 parks. I think it's overkill in some situations. But at least 1 park. But at the same time, if you know that unit is next to the subway, if it's next to like major routes, and like super walkable somewhere like, Distillery or Lawrence Market or even like City Place, some places like that.
That your daily life doesn't call for a car. Yeah.
Or, like there's just, life's changing and technology's changing. You could, if you really needed it, okay, I need to run to Costco. You either, borrow a friend's car to go to Costco, or, you could rent a car for the day.
Yeah, there's those quick 2-hour.
Yep. And they're actually incorporating them into, units and stuff like that. Little spots around condo.
Yeah, our condo had that.
Yeah, our old condo had a little rent-a-car downstairs.
Yeah.
And it was always there. And, even in Richmond Hill, you could probably get away with it. I mean, our place was right on the bus line.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Maybe, we talked about proximity to your lifestyle needs. Maybe you're older and you need to be close to a hospital. Mm-hmm. We said before, maybe it's not you, maybe it's someone else that you need to be close to the hospital for. Or, if you're a family, obviously you need to be close to schools and stuff like that.
Yep.
And then this is all in very much contrast to, the clubs and the bars and all that kind of stuff when you're younger.
A lifetime ago for us.
Or maybe you don't want kids and you are older and you're like, you know what?
Sure.
Give me the penthouse suite.
Yeah.
Give me the penthouse suite.
There's actually a lot of older, baby boomers that the kids have moved out and they actually would love to be in the city and they can afford to have a beautiful large condo.
Yep.
They don't need a home any longer and they want to live in Midtown or Yonge and Bloor or somewhere really fashionable and stylish and great.
Yeah.
And they can afford it.
Everyone's a little different. Everyone has
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you spend half the year in Florida and half the year in the city and you want to live in a great place in Midtown, why not?
Mm-hmm. Or even if you, not even as far as Florida, maybe you just have a little cottage.
Yeah.
And you spend that your full summer there and then you just come back to your little condo.
Yeah. No maintenance, no headaches, no stress. You lock the door. And you have nothing to worry about when you're gone.
No maintenance apart from the maintenance fees, Jessica.
Well, of course, but there's lots.
But in terms of external maintenance and all that kind of stuff that you'd.
Yeah, no worrying
definitely.
About flooding or freezing pipes or.
Totally. And by the way, not all condos are shoeboxes in the sky.
Well, no, that's exactly.
There's a lot of low rises. There's one backing onto ravine lots and green lots.
Yeah, there's great options.
And these days they're just building them so differently, and I think they are actually thinking about lifestyle now. We do complain that the units are getting small, and that is not for everyone. It is for some people, and maybe that's all some people can afford, But fortunately, I think what we've seen now is a lot of condo projects they've put more thought into just living units and common elements. There is, a lot of commercial going in downstairs, helpful commercial.
Yeah.
Like coffee shops, bars, barbers.
Little grocery stores.
Some areas are they're developing the whole area and putting parks and stuff in.
Yeah, there's
or
more
community
thought.
centers. Yeah. So, thankfully.
And then there's the 55 plus community condos.
Yep.
Those are always
the retirees only kind of thing.
Yeah, they're more catered towards that age demographic, and there's coffee bars in the bottom of that.
Yeah, and they have some of them have golf courses attached to them.
Yeah.
As the common elements. Yeah, I mean, it's more than just, in case some people don't realize out there, condos are more than just units.
Yeah, they're not just a 500 square foot.
It's not just a building. Yeah. Some of them are. Obviously, there's condo townhouses as well, but it can really look very different across the spectrum.
Yeah, there's something for every stage of life, also.
Yep. So, I guess the most important thing to talk about now, which is a very huge topic now, is obviously where people are living and how they're living is based on the job. Right? And the commute.
Yes.
Now, what does that commute look like now?
Very different than it did 2 years ago.
It's very different. Some people don't even have a commute anymore.
And may never have a commute again.
And may never have a commute again. And, we've touched on this before, the lifestyle choice of moving, out of the city and moving to different parts of the country or at least the province where it's cheaper, but you get more, and all of these things that we're just talking about. You get a bigger house, or more land. Maybe you get a little creek on your land. That'd be so nice to have a little creek.
Would it?
Yeah, it would be so nice.
That's not for my lifestyle.
What about if you had little kids and little kids go chase frogs down in the creek? Do you have frogs in your creeks here?
I'm sure.
Or maybe your dream is to have like farmyard animals.
Yeah.
And live off the land.
Yeah, that's.
Isn't that fantastic idea? Like,
I'd like to
grow your own herbs, have your own vegetable garden.
Yeah.
Have some chickens.
Yeah. Some fresh eggs.
Fresh eggs.
Lots of
Some
dogs.
goats for some milk. Would you like some fresh goat milk in the morning, Jess?
No, thank you. All good with my oat milk. Thank you very much.
That's right. Squeeze those oats. But yeah, look, this is something we can't answer right now, is how many people are going to have to go back to the workplace? And how many people are just going to be able to work from home? Yeah.
Or the dual,
or the flexi package.
Yeah.
How many people are sick of their condo or sick of their house and they want to go to the work? So how many people do you reckon miss the commute?
Yeah, people are missing that coffee run in the morning.
Yep. There is such a huge industry built on just what you do between leaving your home and getting to your workplace.
Yeah.
Picking up food here, picking up the newspaper at the local convenience store.
Yeah.
Getting a coffee, your favorite coffee place.
My favorite part of commuting to Ryerson after my GO train ride, which I very much did not enjoy every morning, but there was a specific bagel shop in the path.
Yes.
Downtown that always made my commute worth it. Yeah. I would always go on Wednesday mornings. They knew I was coming.
And you would look forward to that, right?
I had to get the same bagel every single week.
Oh my god. And then, okay, there are some psychopaths, no, only joking, but there are some people out there that would go to the gym on the way home.
Or the way to work.
At 5 in.
Yeah.
I've got a friend in particular that does that. And that's not my deal. Yeah. But that's his deal. And he, just to get up and leave and jump on the GO train. Or jump in some people, Jess, they used to, I don't know if they're still doing it, but some people used to do a taxi service or a ride service from Peterborough, for example.
Oh yeah.
In those, they were actually pretty well priced, and you would carpool with a few other people, and you would have chargers in the back and little DVD screens. Some people, that's the way they got to work.
People do their work on the train. They get their... Yeah. I got my reading done sometimes for school, but...
yeah, for sure.
But not as much as I should have.
That's right. These are all just things to think about. And I think the point of what we're trying to say here is you're not going to get everything that you want, to begin with at least. As you're moving up the totem pole, as you're moving along these stepping stone places, you will have to rough it in the beginning. Yeah. Maybe you won't if you're lucky, but
there's always going to be a sacrifice.
Yep. And, what does that sacrifice look like to you? Are you happy with the old house because when you get up every morning, you got your friends, family, the soccer practice is down the road, little things like that? Or are you roughing it on purpose because it's near work and it's good for work, but maybe at some point you want to change it?
You love your house, you love the area, you love everything, but the kitchen needs to be redone, not tomorrow, but it needs to be redone within the next 5 years. But you're fine with that.
Yeah. And do you have the guts to want to go through a renovation?
Yeah.
Do you have the means to go through a renovation?
Yeah.
Again, if you wanted to talk about that, guys at home listening, if you wanted to talk about renovate versus, profit down the line for when you sell, for the most part, just quick, if you want to make a note of it, renovating should just be for yourself and your lifestyle, but some people do renovate to sell as well.
Yeah. There's some tips and tricks we could
tips and tricks
another time.
Yep. If you want to reach out, hit us up. You can find us on all different parts. You could even Google Hickson Real Estate, and we're like first page results, Jess.
Yeah.
I've been working on that.
Appreciate that.
SEO. It's maybe because people think we're cool. People like us.
Okay.
But all different forms, ways to reach us. Of course, any questions, hicksonrealestateteam@gmail.com. I think that kind of wraps up this week, Jess.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you have any like final notes you want to leave with someone on that? What's your advice? What's your best
as a
advice?
person who's never fully satisfied with where they live, my suggestion is to just make the best of it.
What would you say? Like 3 to 5 years. Give it a good go, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
and there's things you can do in your home to make it yours.
Yeah. Not to mention, if you are moving, let's say you're renting and you're moving around a lot, the price is going to jump. If you were to stay in your place for 3 to 5 years, it's only going to increase so much per year. If you're owning, of course, then there's a lot of costs that are involved with moving around.
Yeah.
But at certain point, you will need to move for whatever reason, and that we've talked about today. And when you guys are ready to do that, give us a call. Give us an email.
For sure, I'd love to hear from you.
Love to hear from you. Talk to us. Hey, jump on the TikTok and give us a little follow. Leave a little comment. Tell us, maybe comment that you came from the podcast. That would be some cross-platforming, wouldn't it be? All right, guys. Again, any questions, hit us up on all the social media, Facebook page. We've got the Instagram. We've got the TikTok. We've even got the YouTube. And we've got the website. What don't we have, Jess?
Snapchat?
Snapchat. Sure, we do not have Snapchat. And it won't be coming anytime soon.
Yeah, we're not getting it.
All right, guys. At Hickson Real Estate. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you hopefully next week.
Bye.